Let's load some shotgun shells. Alright, some of the equipment we'll be using today, we'll be using a MEC 600 Junior. We've got TGT 12 replacement wads. We're using number 8 lead shot, 700X powder, and some Remington gun clubs. Our press is nearly set up. We the charge bar in there already. You can see that 302 indicating that's for a single stage press, and that 100 indicates that it's for 1 ounce of shot. Here's some other charge bars. See, the one on the left is for 7/8. The one in the middle is for 1 1/8. And the one on the right is for 1 ounce and 3/8 of shot. Here's another view of the charge bar. This is what meters the amount of shot. And this hole over here is where you put a bushing, and that will meter the amount of powder. You really need to be reading this book or something similar. This has all your recipes in here, and in the back it'll have the bushing table, tell you what bushing to use to drop a certain amount of powder. Now, don't take that as gospel. That's a good starting point, but you need to weigh a couple of those and make sure it's correct. Okay, let's get started. We're going to attach our bottles containing our shot and powder. You can see shot goes here and powder goes over here. Okay, we're going to start by flipping this over. We'll start with our shot. Unscrew the lid. And screw it onto the press. We're going to do the same thing with the powder. And make sure you put them on the right side. Okay, now we're just going to flip this back over. Shot and powder bottles are both installed. Okay, the first thing I like to do with these shells, looking for any cracks. This one looks good. And then I also take this, hold the base, hold this, and just twist slightly. I've seen several of these where this piece comes off. Okay, here we are. I have the first shell at the first station, and we're going to move this shell clockwise around this press as we reload. So we're going to take our hull and get it into station 1. Now this station is going to deprime and size. So if this ring was expanded a little bit from firing the gun, this is going to squeeze that back into tolerance. And as you can see, it takes the primer out. Okay, for the second station, we want to get a primer. And we're going to put the primer just like that down into that slot. And now that that primer is seated in there, we'll take our hull, our deprimed hull, and we'll seat that primer. And I always like to look at it and make sure everything's seated properly. Alright, so now that we have the new primer in there, we're going to move to station 3. Now, since this is the first time I'm using this press since I put the new bottles on, I'm not going to trust the amount of powder that may be in the bushing or the shot that's in the bar. Okay, so what I'm going to do, that shell is there in station 3. I'm going to come up here, I'm going to push the bar all the way to the left to the powder. Okay, and that puts that bushing right underneath the bottle. So that bushing should have powder in it now. And now what I'm going to do, with this handle still depressed, I'm going to push the bar to the left. And we should have dropped powder into our hull. Not sure how easy that is to see. There is powder in there, but we're just going to put that back in the bottle. Okay, now that this shell is empty again, I dumped the powder back into the bottle. I'm going to take this same primed hull, put it back in station 3, depress the handle again, and with the handle held down, I'm going to push the charge bar to the right. Okay, so that should have dropped our shot. It's in there. So I'm going to do the same thing with this. I'm going to dump this into the shot bottle. Okay, now we're going to actually load this for real. So I'm going to put our primed hull back in station 3. Press the handle down. Move the charge bar to the left to drop our powder. We'll let up on the handle. We're going to press that down, and that's has guide fingers in there to guide the wad into the shell. Okay, so now we take one of our wads. We're going to fit it in there, just like that. We're going to press it down, press the handle down, which is going to seat the wad. Okay, with the handle held down, I'm now going to move the charge bar to the right. And that dropped our shot. Okay, let the handle up. And we can take a look at this. And we see that we have shot in there. We're going to move this to station 4. I'm going to press down our handle, let up our handle, and we have a pre-crimp. From station 4, just going to slide the shell back to station 5. Press down our handle, let it up, and we have a final crimp. And this shell is ready to go bang. Okay, so we have some more to load here, so let's load some more. Check for cracks. Do our little twist to make sure this base is still secure. And then we'll put that into station 1. Okay, deprimed. We'll get a primer into station 2 and seat it. Okay, station 3. First thing we do, drop powder. Let the handle up. Put this guide down. Get a wad in there. Press the handle down and hold it. Slide our charge bar to the right. Let our handle up. We check to make sure we have shot, which we do. Put it into station 4. Handle down for a pre-crimp. Slide to station 5 for your final crimp. Okay, check for cracking. Twist. We want to get that primer out of there. Need our new primer. Check it. Next we drop powder. Put in a wad. Drop shot. Pre-crimp. Final crimp. And we'll do one more here. And there we knocked out 5 in just a few minutes.